Hey there, Coach. When did you realize just how good Trevin Blue was going to be, and how important is he for your team through the stretch?
Well, I've known Trayvon since he was a freshman in high school, and he's been a terrific player at every step of the way, whether it's high school, whether it's AAU, whether he first stepped onto campus. And I think his game just continues to evolve. His confidence is at an all-time high, and the way he played in the second half was special yesterday. So I've known it for a while, and like most players, they continue to get better, and Trayvon's no different in that regard.
Front row.
Chris, when you got some Dunkin' Donuts in you last night or this morning, what was your evaluation of FSU once you got to see them on tape?
They're really athletic. They're really long. I mean, it's just stating the obvious. It's amazing how Leonard Hamilton's teams, play very, very hard all the time. I was an assistant at Wake Forest years ago, and that was always a trademark of his teams. That they really battled on the defensive end. They made catches tough. They got deflections. They tried to get you out of whatever you were running. And yesterday was no different, and that's what we're going to have to handle on Saturday if we expect to advance.
There's a follow-up, and then we'll come over to the right. Go ahead.
Thanks. You'll play tomorrow one of the probably, I think, the biggest center, the tallest center that you've played against all year.
I won't.
Thank you for correcting my grammar. What's your evaluation of that matchup? Obviously, you guys will want to stick to your game plan, but does that change anything in any way?
I think you have to be extremely smart when you drive the basketball. Drives can't lead to bad decisions, whether that's block shots, whether that's traveling violations because you get intimidated. We have to do a great job of getting multiple paint touches and trying to figure out a way to draw their center out on the floor. Whether it's Ojo or Kamanja, both of those guys do a tremendous job of protecting the rim. But we just have to be solid with our decision-making, easier said than done, and can't get sped up.
Our far right.
Just kind of take us through the maturation process of Quentin this year, and obviously in the absence of Edmund Sumner, how pleased you are with the way that he's really handled a lot that's been thrown at him.
Yeah, I mean, he's been force-fed a whole lot. I couldn't be happier for Q. I think there's nothing greater than actually getting playing experience and being able to play through your mistakes as a college basketball player. And at times when you're coaching, obviously you have to go with more seasoned and experienced players. But we don't have that luxury at the point guard position because Edmund went down. And to see Q develop, he's always been a phenomenal defender. Even when he was playing 12 minutes a game, I talked about it all the time. And now he's playing 35 minutes a game. And his effort and his intangibles, his quickness, his toughness on the defensive end gives him a chance. Offensively, I think he's grown immensely. His assist-turnover ratio is phenomenal. And I know that he didn't have a great night last night in terms of turned the ball over one too many times and did it a couple of times when they were sort of unforced turnovers. But he's gotten tons better, and I think our team has developed a confidence in Quentin that they didn't have when he first took over, and it's been really fun to watch.
Center aisle.
Chris, maybe when you were with Skip, either at Xavier or Wake, or even you saw Sean go through the time of year when jobs are open and names are mentioned and you try to figure out who's going to land where. I wonder what you learned about that process and how hard it is to go through and whether the coaching fraternity kind of talks to each other about that during that time.
Yeah, I mean, coaches talk all the time. In terms of, coaches moving on, I think everybody's different. I think everybody's situation's different. I'm certainly different from Sean. I'm certainly different from Skip. Both of those guys spent a long, long time at Xavier because Xavier was really, really close to their heart. But I'm from Cincinnati. I went to Xavier. I'm in a little different place. I also think Xavier's in a much different place than it was 5-10 years ago. The league that we're in, as I've said many times this year, is a monster. And how things play out for other coaches. I think coaches have learned that the grass isn't always greener, and we certainly have a great thing going at Xavier.
Have you seen it put a strain on guys, though?
The transition's never easy. And I've been a part of one transition when Coach went to Wake Forest. And, Xavier really, really cares about our basketball program. They put the resources, they've made the commitment well before me. It really started with Bob Stack and Bill Daly and the administration that said, hey, we can use basketball to make our university better. And that foot on the gas pedal's never really been taken off. And it's a great thing to be a part of.
On our right.
How unique a challenge is Isaac? And have you faced anyone like him this season?
Oh, wow. Probably not off the top of my head. I have short-term memory. I can barely remember Maryland from the other night. But the unique thing about him is that he can do it, in a variety of ways. He can post up. He can certainly shoot the basketball from the perimeter. They throw lobs to him. He's terrific offensive rebounder. He's really, really talented. And for as good as he is now and as productive as he is now, I'm glad we don't have to play him in 4 years because he's going to be even scarier. But he's a challenge, and the thing that makes Florida State unique and as difficult of a challenge as they are, he's not the only guy. We've played a lot of teams over the years where you can key in on a guy like that because maybe their other players aren't near the talent level. That's not the case with Florida State.
Anything else? Far right.
Yeah, Coach, just ask the guys about the video coordinators and their job last night, turning that FSU tape so it breaks it down to personnel and stuff. How important is that for you and your staff to get that immediate feedback and be able to implement that?
Yeah, our video coordinator, Ty Sampson, he's incredible at what he does. He not only is he good with getting instant film, he's that type of guy that when your computer goes out, and you're offline, he can get it back on. He hits, Control X, Z, F1, and all of a sudden it's back up and running. And so he's special. He does a great job. No, it's, I'm not that bad though with technology. I'm not going to sit up here like a dinosaur and act like I don't know technology. But when things go offline, I usually get frazzled.
Anything else? Coach, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.